for less than Lynch.
Tonight, the Bucks are kicking it against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden.
Lillard going to fire up a three. Tees up a beauty from the right wing as he rips the cords from the right wing.
Our coverage of the game starts tonight at 6. We are your home for the Bucks. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it is 49 degrees. Beautiful day today. Sunny skies and mild to high 58. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Mike Spalding. A 13-year-old from Kenosha is in police custody this morning after allegedly bringing a gun to his former elementary school. Police say intended on shooting.
The suspect is a Mahone Middle School student who tried to enter Roosevelt Elementary School while carrying a suspicious bag just after 9 a.m. Thursday. Kenosha Police Chief Patrick Patton.
The investigation revealed that the suspect shared videos and made several comments to fellow students for weeks.
Those videos show the suspect holding a rifle, which police believe may have been inside the suspicious bag. Kenosha Unified School District Superintendent Dr. Jeff Weiss thanking staff
who bravely stopped the individual and ask questions that cause the individual to question their choices and flee.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
Assault charges filed against a man accused of attacking a Milwaukee public school teacher. The criminal complaint filed against Eddie Caldwell accuses him of striking a teacher in front of her students several times at Bruce Elementary School. Caldwell also allegedly threatening the teacher and pushing her up against a wall. That teacher then told police he recognized Caldwell as the father of one of her students. Confirming a murder-suicide in Mukwonago, the Waukesha County Medical Examiner's Office finding that both 45-year-old Vito Schwartz and 43-year-old Michelle Brown both died from gunshot wounds. They concluded that Schwartz was murdered, with Brown taking her own life. Mukwonago police arrived at a home just before 4 o'clock on November 1st. They found both residents dead. An investigation is ongoing. Less than 48 hours after winning re-election, President-elect Donald Trump naming his first official appointment, that being Susan Summerall Wiles, to become his White House chief of staff.
Susie has been at the campaign for many years, since the beginning. The question is, how does she transition that role from a role in the campaign into the White House, managing the Oval Office? Will she be able to do that effectively with her boss in the West Wing? That is the big question, and we'll see how her management style is and if she's effective in that way.
Now, Wiles making history, she'll become the first female chief of staff in the West Wing. A federal judge, meanwhile, ruling in favor of a Republican-led effort to dismantle a Biden administration plan that was meant to shield some undocumented immigrants from deportation.
A federal judge has struck down a Biden administration program known as Keeping Families Together. It aimed to let undocumented spouses and stepchildren of U.S. citizens apply for legal status without leaving the country and facing a 10-year ban from returning. A coalition of 16 Republican-led states filed a lawsuit arguing in part that the administration had overstepped its authority to grant relief through a process known as parole in place. DHS says nearly 500,000 spouses were eligible for the program. Armando Garcia, ABC News.
Here at home, higher electricity bills are headed to We Energy's customers. The Wisconsin Public Service Commission approving a rate increase that'll raise your typical bill about $8 to $9 per month next year. That'll go up to $9 to $10 in 2026. We Energies had originally sought a rate hike that would have amounted to about a $12 a month increase. The decision came after months of pushback from consumer advocate groups like the Citizens Utility Board. Time now for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up right now 164 points at 43,893. The NASDAQ up 14 points at 19,284. The S&P 500's up 16.5 right now at 59.89. It's financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Details right now at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Times 9:04.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by MJ's TV partner, Lisa Byington. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Get everything for your next project today at Menards and save big money. We carry everything to help you breathe easier. Allergen air filters help prevent seasonal allergy symptoms and improve your indoor air quality by capturing microparticles while allowing maximum airflow. Save big on allergen air filters when you shop at Menards. View the weekly flyer and all of our great deals happening this week on Menards.com.
Save big money at Menards.
For over 4 decades, one name has stood out as a symbol of excellence in automotive sales and service. It's the Boucher Automotive Group, dedicated to providing exceptional experiences to all of our valued customers.
We will help you find the perfect vehicle within your budget while respecting your time.
With 20 convenient locations, we're the one-stop destination for all your automotive needs.
At Boucher, we're your trusted partner on every mile of your journey. Riding with you every mile since 1977.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law offices. One call, that's all sports desk, so they can do it.
Three-point try from Dame, and he drains it from the left wing.
That's the Bucks ending a miserable stretch of losses Thursday night. They topped the Utah Jazz 123-100. No rest for the Bucks, though. They play the second game in as many nights tonight. They are in New York, taking on the Knicks at Madison Square Garden. Tip time or coverage on the Bucks Radio Network is underway here on WTMJ starting at 6 p.m. Taking a look at your roads and your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving, time saver traffic. Things are looking pretty good across the system this morning. No major issues, no major delays. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly sunny today. Beautiful start to the weekend, a high 58. Overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, a low 43, lakeside 36 degrees inland. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies. Evening showers are possible, a high of 56 degrees. Sunday, mostly cloudy skies, chance of some rain, breezy, a high 60. Monday, cloudy, high 58. Tuesday, sunny skies, a high of 53 degrees. Right now, downtown Milwaukee, sunny and 49. I'm Mike Spalding, Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Times, 9:07.
Wisconsin. So let's pour that coffee and talk to some experts about what's going on in Milwaukee, Madison, Washington, and beyond. Broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. It's the Political Power Hour on WTMJ. Here's your host, Steve Scaffidi.
Should we talk about the government?
And good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Friday after Election Day. In studio, as always, or almost always, Bill Acosta, Republican strategist, Joe Zapacki. See, it's a Packer-free week. It's already on my mind.
And now that you're on mic, I can tell there is a little rasp. You've been putting in the work this week, my friend.
Yeah. Overtime. No
tax on overtime.
Yeah, no such thing as overtime pay. So nothing to worry about there. I'm good. But yeah, my voice is a little hoarse, so you'll have to kind of pick up the slack today. But gentlemen, first of all, thanks for all the great analysis. I'll sum it up quickly, and then you guys give me your takes. I was right on turnouts.
In Wisconsin.
In Wisconsin, yeah.
We were right nationally.
Yep.
And there's already some conspiracy theories about 2020 versus 2024. We'll get to that. Bill nailed it on Trump's popularity and certainly what he would accomplish, and which was significant. I acknowledge that throughout the week. And you had the Tammy Baldwin race, right? So a little something for everybody.
We get a little something in everyone's stocking.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, we start with that. I guess
no lumps of coal.
I guess for me, there's
a few.
Yeah. Obviously, there's people that are super jazzed this week with the results, and there's people that are disappointed. I guess for me, the question that I have for both of you, and I'll start with you, Bill, since you're on the victory side here. What does Tuesday mean?
I think Tuesday means that real, regular, everyday Americans, men, women, black, white, Hispanic, decided enough's enough. And we want just common sense, right? We want to get back to where the government's not in our business all the time, telling us what to do, what to think, and we can go about our lives. And hopefully the economy will get better, inflation will go down, we'll have a better opportunity to fill our gas tank, buy our groceries, pay our mortgage, pay our rent. Those are things that resonated with voters across this state and I think across this country and propelled Donald Trump to victory.
Joe Zepecki, your side did not do well. I was surprised by the margins.
Should I just jump right down Bill's throat or
No.
stay nice today?
Let's stay nice.
Okay. What happened? The same thing that has happened in every election everywhere around the world this year, which is the incumbent party, regardless of their politics, was thrown out on its keister. And when you actually look globally, the Democratic Party in the United States fared best or second best. We're still counting some votes.
Yeah.
And what that tells me is there were global economic headwinds at play that were stronger than the fact that America's economy today is the envy of the world, that were stronger than the fact that Donald Trump is a uniquely flawed human being. And whether it's 34 felonies, whether it's 2 impeachments, there are some things that matter more than I thought and hoped that they do. And where that leads me is to a place where this country is in for some potentially turbulent times, which is not surprising because it turns out that in the last 10 elections, 8 of those elections have been calls for change. That is an unprecedentedly turbulent period of politics. Right? Bill and Steve are old enough to remember that in the 20th century, the reason it was such a big deal that Republicans took Congress in 1994 was Democrats had controlled it for like half a century.
Right, yeah. Forever.
We didn't used to
years.
do this all the time where we went, Bush reelected, Democrats take Congress. Obama reelected, Tea Party wave, Obama reelected. 14 being a knockout for Dems. This back and forth and how divided we are still divided, right? Like here in Wisconsin, 48.5% of the congressional vote went to Democrats.
Right.
This election ultimately came down to 250,000 votes across 3 states. That's a lot more than 40,000 votes across 3 states, but it's still less than 0.1% of 330 million, which is how many Americans there are. We were divided on Monday. We are divided today. And the concern now is which Donald Trump are we going to get? And we don't know the answer.
And that we'll get to that in the next segment.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to pick one issue and tell you why I think this election went the way it did. And I've said this forever on the show. For decades, we've screwed around with border policy and immigration. Both sides. Both sides have flip-flopped. The elected officials have said one thing 10 years ago, something different now. And I think voters, Bill and Joe, said, you know what? We're not doing this. We may elect a president. We're not fully sure what he's about, but we're going to put him in that position, and he's going to make strict, tough decisions on border policy and immigration, and let's see what happens, because people are pissed off about this issue. Trust me, I talk to them all the time.
And it's not just in America. It's the economy and
Of course.
immigration patterns.
Even the Canadian Prime Minister is talking about temporarily closing their border.
Yeah. Right. So this is where this is coming from. And voters, I think, overwhelmingly, as much as you can have an overwhelming result in a presidential election, given the country we live in now, is that we are seeing voters just saying, you know what? No, we're not doing this. And there's other things obviously at play. Kamala Harris, a 4-month campaign is tough to do.
Yeah, well, and let's look at what campaign she ran. So in the states, in the 43 states where there wasn't a battleground and there wasn't a real campaign, the improvement for Trump was 3.9 percentage points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the 7 battleground states, the improvement for Trump was 1.6 percentage points. So that you can make an argument that the campaign that Kamala Harris ran was worth almost 2.5 points. And I think Bill agrees with me on this. None of us have ever suggested who work in campaigns that a campaign makes all the difference, right? It makes a little difference.
There are atmospheres, right?
Yeah, and so Kamala Harris ran probably as good a campaign as she could have, given the hand she was dealt. We can play the contingent history game and say if the day after the 2022 midterms, Joe Biden had said, see ya, I'm going to step aside and let's have it out in a primary, because that might have been easier for Democrats to hold on to the change argument. But what American president with the legislative accomplishments he had was going to do that? You're asking too much of somebody.
For my friend Joe and people on the left who are distraught over Tuesday night, I would just refer you to Joe Biden yesterday in the Rose Garden, where he said it's all going to be all right. I think that was wise counsel on his part.
I thought that was one of the best speeches he's made in a while.
No question.
I mean, he seemed confident even in the loss.
I thought Harris was fundamentally a flawed candidate, but I'll tell you, in the state of Wisconsin, she ran a pretty solid campaign. If you look at the numbers, she got the third highest vote total in history. Donald Trump this cycle got the highest vote total in history. Barack Obama in 2008 got the second highest vote total, and Harris is only 10,000 votes behind him. So she performed here.
Do you think that'll shut your side up about the great replacement theory?
Well, I think my side should learn some lessons about this. This was a referendum on Donald Trump, not necessarily on the Republican Party. And for this to be durable, Trump has to make sure that the Congress delivers on the promises that he made. And if they don't, he's got to enforce strict discipline. This has to be a tight-run operation going forward.
And as we go to break, I mean, Donald Trump pretty much has it set up the way he wants. Still some work to do in the House, but I mean, it seems like it's lined up. Once he's in January, end of January, it's on him. All the records, all the performance, all the data, all that stuff points to him and his performance. Now, he doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to him that much because he's done in 4 years. But 4 years is a long time. Bill McCoshen, Joe Zepecki, lots more to get to, including what the next 70 days-ish will look like, and certainly the importance of the Latino vote in Wisconsin and beyond. All of these things having a tremendous impact on what happened on Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. We're just getting warmed up. Political Power Hour, 620 WTMJ.
The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch.
Go to a place of safety now. A tornado warning is in effect.
The danger in the thunderstorm alone is definitely there. We have wind gusts where it's at 50 miles per hour and lots of lightning in the storm system.
Keeping you updated on the weather so you can keep you and your family safe with severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
Do you know how taxes will impact your golden years? I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. Proper tax planning can make all the difference in your retirement savings. Without the right strategy, taxes can take a big bite out of your hard-earned nest egg. We can help you maximize your retirement income and keep more of what you earned. It's your money. You deserve to know what's at stake. Right now, taxes are historically low, but they won't be low forever. At Drake & Associates, we focus on helping you navigate the complexities of tax laws to ensure your financial future is secure. Don't let taxes derail your retirement dreams. Call us or text TAX to 414-409-9982. That's TAX to 414-409-9982.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey everybody, this is Max and welcome to the Political Power Hour on 620 WTMJ. Bill and Joe, get to work.
Grandson Max getting back into the show.
We should say the same about him. Where are the jokes,
right.
Max?
Wow.
Come
Hey,
on.
Max is actually skipping a school day today because he's up by us. His parents are in Mexico.
Must be nice.
Yeah.
Should have had him sit in. Referee.
Grandpa should have invited us all to lunch today, don't you think?
Yeah, Max would have loved that because he sort of knows you guys now. All right, let's talk about it. Bill McCoshen, Joe Zepecki, my regular Friday guest. Friday edition, the most popular version and edition of the Political Power Hour. Next 70 days, Bill, Donald Trump, we see some things happening already. The wheels are spinning. What's going to come?
Donald Trump named Susie Wiles his chief of staff yesterday. Why that's important? I'm not into identity politics, but believe it or not, she is the first female White House chief of staff in history.
Yeah.
I found that surprising yesterday too. But then I thought back through all the chiefs I could recall, and they were all dudes.
One more crack in that glass ceiling. There's a
so
few more to
apparently,
go.
according to Mark Cuban, who I'll mention in the junk truck, he doesn't surround himself with strong, smart women. Wrong.
It's a great.
Right?
It's a great pick.
It's a great pick.
Apparently, she can actually constrain Donald Trump a little bit.
She is tough as nails. He calls her the Ice Queen. And listen, that's what you want around you is people that are no BS and
a famous dad.
I did not know this until the rally last Friday night at Fiserv Forum when the former president himself, president-elect, I should say now, announced her. She was sitting in the same VIP area I was. I didn't get a chance to meet her. We did trade one email during the campaign where I had to reach out to her about RFK. Tommy wanted him in Madison, and he had talked to Susie about this at one of the Trump trips, and she needed more information. So I connected with Susie. She replied, and she made it happen. So Susie, I have one tiny connection to Susie Wiles, but listen, she's a spectacular pick, and I think what listeners ought to get ready for is a administration of action. They have started this transition process the day after the RNC in Milwaukee. They have been working at this for 3 months already. There's about 5,000 positions in the federal government that get appointments. I think they'll be ready with almost all of those on day one, which they clearly were not in 2016. And probably most importantly, they'll be filled with people who understand this is one term. It's one and done, and they're there for a very specific purpose to deliver on what Donald Trump promised.
One of my legal scholars yesterday, I think he referred to Section F, which is the civil service piece, which I believe will not be used in the selection of these, would you say, 5,000 employees. Joe, from the perspective of someone who really understands government, how it's supposed to work, longtime employees who generally benefit from experience, and they've worked through different administrations of both sides. Fears, concerns?
Yeah, there should be. And the reason the civil service was created was to prevent corruption in government. And we now have a demonstrated corrupt individual at the head of the government. And so it is the job of civil society and the civil service and the press to try to hold this incoming president to account. Whether that will work, whether he is able to summarily fire tens of thousands of federal employees, if he does, that people will feel that.
Let's unpack that. Bill, can he do that?
He's going to try.
He's going to try. And that's part of where Elon Musk is going to come in through the DOGE, I think it's called, Department of Government Efficiency.
Doge.
A Doge. I called it DOGE. Anyway, I think the next pick that you want to pay very close attention to is his Attorney General. I think you are going to see sweeping changes at the Department of Justice from top to bottom, including at the CIA, the FBI. I mean, I think the American public are tired of what they thought were personal attacks on the former president or on anyone for that matter. And those people are supposed to be there for a specific job. And at least in some cases, they put their personal agenda above the American people.
I know that's the Trump argument. They came at me. But when I hear the former president, now president-elect, say the word revenge or going after enemies, that seems like more of the same that you just advocated against. So is that concerning to you?
Yeah. Listen, at the end of the day, these are you should be honored to have a government position. It's not a guarantee. It's not a birthright. So if there are better people to do those jobs that will change the direction of those agencies and restore what we all considered as young people, pretty respectable institutions, then I'm all for it. And if Elon Musk helps him cut 20,000 people out of the federal government, I'm all for that. He proved at X, formerly Twitter, that he cut the staff by 80%, and the platform is the number one news source in the world, not just in the United States.
Here's the risk. Donald Trump is a blunt instrument. He is not a scalpel. The same can be said of Elon Musk. If he wants to take a scalpel to the Department of Justice, I'm going to fight that tooth and nail, and I think that's the wrong thing to do. But if it is too blunt an instrument, the risk is we don't see things happen like what happened on Monday, when undercover FBI agents stopped a plot to use a weapon of mass destruction against a power substation in Tennessee that would have wreaked havoc on the power grid in this country. That is the work, and almost nobody heard about that. But I'm telling you, that the indictment was unsealed, and they frog marched the perp. Like, that is the job that law enforcement in the Department of Justice, from counterintelligence and terrorism, do every single day that we never hear about. And so if Donald Trump comes in and says, we're disbanding the FBI, I don't think there's a huge chance of that, but there's some chance. You got to admit there's some chance.
Yeah, there's some chance.
He tries to do that, there is real risk to your safety as an American citizen.
Joseph Beck, Bill McCoshen, after the break, the rise of Latino voters. Big help for Trump on Tuesday. That's next.
The news you need to know.
From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, one person is now confirmed dead in a crash involving multiple vehicles and a school bus.
A Milwaukee Bucks star is searching for answers today after his house was burglarized over the weekend.
Join Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty every weekday from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m.
Not the extension of pumpkin spice season. No, it is not a maple cold foam cold brew with artichoke.
Ding, 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 ding.
On Wisconsin's Midday News.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Adair, A-D-A-I-R, floors and remodeling, South 27th Street in Franklin. Been in business, get this, 65 years. They have a design team ready to work like they did with Kathy and I. Flooring, remodeling, whatever you need, home or business, family owned and operated right there in Franklin, South 27th Street. Stop in, tell them Scaffidi sent you. You can visit it online at Adair, A-D-A-I-R, floors.com.
Craft your Brewers mini plan for the 2025 season, featuring all new 6-packs and 12-packs. Get in on the action with great ticket rates, marquee matchups, and priority seating. Plus, you'll get a limited edition Brewers Crowler with each 12-pack or pair of 6-packs. Looking to customize your games to fit your schedule? Build your own ticket plan options are also available. Pick the plan for you at brewers.com/ticket finder.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Dave from Feldco. Did drafty windows make last winter frigid? Listen, Feldco's here to make things easier for you. It's the perfect time of year to replace those old windows. Right now, get 50% off windows plus no money down and no interest for 1 year. Visit us at 4feldco.com or give us a call at 866-4Feldco.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4Feldco. We were keeping the faith. Yeah, 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 yeah. Keeping the faith.
All right, it's a little Billy Joel for you coming to the AmFam April. That's going to be... I've never seen Sting. I've seen Billy Joel a number of times, but Sting would be worth seeing from his Tuscan estates, which I went right by when I was there last year.
And here we thought this country was going to be done with old guys.
Yes.
Not quite.
Yeah.
Old white guys still going strong.
I'm still hoping producer Jocelyn does Quiet Riot, We're Not Going to Take It for one of the bumps this time. That's what happened on Tuesday.
Don't humor him.
Isn't that Josh Schoman's walk-up? Yeah, Josh Schoman.
We're not going to take it.
And credit to him. He joined me at like 5 o'clock in the morning. He stayed up all night.
He's a military guy.
He
was up.
He's a good
Probably
guy.
already ran 5 miles, too.
And keep that name in your head.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, keep that name in your head. Future Republican. Probability for big office.
They killed it in Washington County, that's for sure.
All right, little time here on the explosion of Latino voters for Donald Trump. That's a big part of this race.
So it wasn't just Latinos, although he got the highest percentage for any Republican in the last 40 years.
That's
Donald
significant.
Trump did. It is significant. But he also did significantly better with blacks.
Mm-hmm.
And let me give you 2 counties. There was one in Georgia and one in North Carolina that are 40% black or better. Donald Trump won both of them. So his appeal wasn't just to white dudes, which was the knock on the campaign. It was broad. It was across the spectrum. And
did it surprise you?
No, I think working people are aligned on key issues, which is, I want to be able to pay the bills and maybe go out for dinner once in a while.
I can tell you my teammate, Tory Lowe, who works at The Truth, his argument was, what have Democrats done for us? We're going a different way. We'll see what happens. That's his argument.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. Joe, Latino voters, the powerhouse that was there on Tuesday young black male voters for Donald Trump, have them sort of not addressed some of the things they're concerned with?
There's no question. Now, I will argue, but we don't have all the time in the world for it, that the policies that Joe Biden put into place are and will continue to benefit working people in this country, whether they're black, brown, green, or pink. And Donald Trump's going to take credit for them all. But ultimately, I hope the rise in Latino support for Trump will mean shut the hell up about the great replacement theory. It's nonsense. It always has been.
Yeah, so we got political junkie PowerPoint coming up. Second segment, second half hour. And then we got, of course, after the break, we got to talk about the Humpty Baldwin race. My goodness, that thing was interesting. So that's all coming up. Local news. But before we get to any of that, here is the latest from ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. 10 people remain in custody after an anti-Semitic attack targeting Israeli soccer fans in Amsterdam. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calling the Dutch government overnight and at first offering to send chartered flights to pick up Israeli fans. ABC's Britt Clennett has more from the foreign desk.
We heard from Amsterdam's mayor, who also condemned what he described as hit-and-run attacks. And the Dutch Prime Minister, he's told Netanyahu that the perpetrators will be prosecuted.
3 people have now been charged in connection with the death of One Direction member Liam Payne. They're accused of supplying and facilitating the use of narcotics, as well as abandonment of a person followed by death. Payne fell from his balcony on the 3rd floor of a Buenos Aires hotel last month, killing him. There is an investigation underway into racist text messages sent to people in more than a dozen states. The company Text Now, which allows people to create phone numbers for free, says it's looking into the accounts. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 9:31. Tragedy averted in Kenosha. Police there arresting a 13-year-old boy after he walked into an elementary school carrying what officers believed was a rifle in a bag. The boy entered the school at about 9 o'clock Thursday morning, fled on foot once he was questioned by staff. Kenosha PD able to track down the boy's home address and made an arrest around 2 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. On the campus of UWM this morning.
Yeah, I love you, John. I'm glad I was here to say all this, and rest in peace and power. I appreciate you.
Funeral services taking place for late Milwaukee Alderman Jonathan Brostoff. He had served the city as an alderman since 2022 and had served as a state representative for 7 years prior to that. Friends and family remembering him as a passionate advocate for his community. Brostoff died earlier this week. Less than 48 hours after he won re-election to the White House, Donald Trump naming Susie Wiles as his chief of staff. She's widely credited with leading Trump's re-election campaign that ultimately led to his victory over Vice President Kamala Harris Tuesday. Wiles is the daughter of former sportscaster Pat Summerall. She'd also been a powerful Republican advisor for several years, credited with, among other things, helping get Florida Republicans like Senator Rick Scott and Governor Ron DeSantis elected in 2018. Wiles will be the first female chief of staff in that role since it was created back in 1953. Time now for some news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow up right now 247 points at 43,976. The NASDAQ down right now about 2.5 points at 19,267. The S&P 500's up 19 at 5992. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. More details right now at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads and your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving. Time save for traffic. Things are looking good across the system. No major issues, no major delays. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, mostly sunny today, high 58 degrees. Overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, a low 43, lakeside 36 degrees inland. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies with some evening showers likely, a high of 56. Sunday, mostly cloudy, the chance of rain, a high of 60. Monday, partly cloudy, 58. Tuesday, sunny skies, a high of 53 degrees. In Madison right now, 49. Green Bay, it's 46. Waukesha, 48. Here in Milwaukee, it's 50 degrees. I'm Mike Spalding, citing Unlimited WTMJ News Times, 934.
One night, one stage. Billy Joel and Sting. Saturday, April 26th. One special evening at American Family Field, Milwaukee. Pre-sale for City Card members Monday, November 11th at 10 a.m. through Thursday, November 14th at 10 p.m. Public on sale Friday, November 15th at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster. Saturday, April 26th. Don't miss Billy Joel and Sting.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hey, Wisconsin, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Hey, comfortable fall weather makes now perfect timing to gear up and be ready to take to the roads with confidence this winter in a new all-wheel drive equipped Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or explore the peace of mind benefits and value of a GM certified pre-owned model. Connect with Team Holiday to find the new vehicle that's right for you during the year-end sale. Score enticing offers, get more for your trade, and experience for yourself Team Holiday's simplified buying approach and genuine guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State and beyond. Fans like me and thousands of others whose trust in Holiday has helped them achieve top ranking as Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer per 2023 Buick and GMC Zone Sales records. Navigate today's car market confidently. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC in Fond du Lac and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Yes, the Friday edition of Political Power Hour. Voice is coming back slowly but sure. I got all weekend to relax. There's no Packers game to yell at the screen or yell from the stadium this week, so let's all chill.
And the Bucks finally got off the schneid.
Oh, my goodness. Don't even get me started.
Maybe because the election was over and the coach finally focused on the team.
That's what you get on a Friday from Bill McCashin. That's some good stuff. All right, gentlemen, the Humpty Baldwin race, it's 20-some thousand separating the two. I was telling you the story during a break where I'm refreshing along with Eric Bilstead on Wednesday morning. She was trailing, and all of a sudden, boom, Milwaukee, the vote that took forever because of all the tabulator issues. Thank God Ron Johnson was on the case. And it flipped, and she is the winner. Now there's going to be some challenges. Who wants to jump in first on this? What does this race suggest about the state?
Tammy Baldwin is a first ballot Hall of Famer now. Put her on Mount Rushmore of Wisconsin politicians. Bill and I have talked about this.
Not easy to do. 3 straight.
It's not easy to do 3 straight, and in the toughest environment yet. Eric Hufty has shown himself to be a fraction of the human being Republicans wanted him to be. We are sitting here with a called race from AP. He still has not conceded. Maybe he's just sad he didn't run a few more ads reminding everyone that Tammy's gay and talking about her partner with ridiculous, absurd attacks that leave out, like, casting suspicion that because of who Tammy Baldwin is in a relationship with, she's voting a certain way in Washington, when the way she's voting in Washington is to lower your drug costs and to make it harder on the drug companies. But Eric Hufty doesn't care about that. Eric Hufty is a vain, petty man who, according to my sources, and I am astonished more of this hasn't come out, is currently engaged in lawsuits against multiple, as many as a half dozen media outlets in this state because he can't take it. He can dish it out.
On what basis
for
the lawsuits?
For airing commercials, for reporting on the doings of his businesses. It's ridiculous. Thank God he will be nowhere near the levers of power because he is not the person he portrayed himself to be.
Let me take this up a notch. There are 4 races that are technically not done yet. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Nevada, and Arizona. The AP has called the races in both Pennsylvania. Bob Casey, the 3-term incumbent, has not conceded yet. They've called the race here in Wisconsin. Eric Hufty has not conceded yet. I'm going to come back to that. I don't believe AP has called either Nevada or Arizona yet. And honestly, that's those are failed systems that they don't have the election results in, and it's Friday.
At some point, we're going to talk
Florida's
about this
one of the biggest states in the country, and they had all of their results in within 2.5 hours.
Well, that's when you allow states to run the elections, this is what you're going to get. But we'll get to that point at some point.
Let's come back to the race itself. Eric Hovde lost by about 27,000 votes. There were 2 third-party candidates, and if the listeners who listen every Friday know I raised this point last Friday that I was concerned about this. The 2 third-party candidates, one, Phil Anderson, got about 42,000 votes. The other, an America First candidate, Thomas Lager, he got 27,000. There's a difference of about 500 votes between what Hovde lost by and what Lager got, so he himself would not have been the difference. They both are. And I was concerned that I didn't want them to get more than 1.5 points. They actually got closer to 1.8%, which was going to be the difference in a race like this. So I think Eric Hovde will concede at some point here, probably even today. And I think Bob Casey should concede in Pennsylvania, and let's see what happens with Kerry Lake and Gallego.
Kerry Lake's never conceding. Come on.
Well,
just get ready for
Donald Trump.
For the record, I'm not a fan
Trump
of hers
still
either.
has not conceded the 2020 election.
Well, he probably he's not going to do that now.
Donald Trump was crying foul on Tuesday afternoon about cheating in Philadelphia, but then he wins, and suddenly there's no more voter fraud. It's absurd.
There are some irregularities that were highlighted on Tuesday night, with Kamala Harris getting 13,000 million votes fewer than Joe Biden. Where are those voters, right? She got roughly the Democratic average.
No.
Answer your own question. What's the answer to that?
We're going to end up 1.5 million fewer votes.
Yeah.
California and Oregon and Washington weren't in yet. There are no 20 million missing votes.
That's true.
You're saying none of California's in.
At that point, when people were going, where are the 20 million votes?
Right.
That was
they've revised it to 15.
Was and is a conspiracy theory.
All right.
The votes were counted.
Is there a future for Eric Hovde in campaigning or office?
Yeah, it's really up to him and his wife Sharon. I thought they ran a great campaign. I would say if he wants to capitalize on the name ID and the goodwill he's built in all 72 counties, that he ought to consider a run for governor in 2026 because he would get Donald Trump's endorsement. Trump loved him. And he would clear the field.
I actually like Eric Hovde. I've had him on the show like 3 or 4 times. I don't see him the way Joe sees him. But when I think about this, from a perspective of Wisconsin Republican candidates, Tim Michels, also a good guy, had him on the show a number of times. But these guys that kind of live here half time, I don't know if that's the best choice for candidates for Republicans in Wisconsin.
Well,
Eric Hovde being the latest example.
Yeah, I mean, as Joe knows, it's hard to beat an incumbent. And I said that on this show many, many times. 0 United States incumbents lost in 2022. Only 3 lost in 2020. And 2 of those were in the state of Georgia. And I would argue Trump had a lot to do with them losing. So it's a rarity. It appears that Republicans have picked up at least 4 to get to 53, which, to your point earlier in the show, Steve, is a governing majority for them.
This was the environment to knock off incumbents. Eric Hovde didn't get it done because he wasn't a very good candidate. That's the fact.
That's Joe's opinion. If you got a thought, text it 855-616-1620 after the break. Political Junkie PowerPoint, sponsored by 2 Men in a Junk Truck.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guests, Olson's Outdoor Power Equipment and National Fire Sprinkler Association. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scaffidi for Universal Windows Direct. Love talking about these guys. As we head into winter, it's coming eventually. I know it's nice today, but you don't want to be stuck with those old drafty windows making your furnace work overtime. Universal Windows Direct is here to keep you warm and save you money, which is, as we know, gas and groceries. That's a big conversation right now. Save money on those energy bills with their exclusive Super Spacer technology. Keeps the edge of the glass warmer, making your home energy efficient and comfortable all season long. Call, I'll go slow, 414-410-2000. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Every 2 windows you buy, 2 free, 4. You get it. And if you need it, 0% financing for 60 months. My math is right. That's 5 years. And for the last windows you ever need, go to uwd.com or call 414-410-2000. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Clinics, and I want to talk about exactly what we do. When you come here, you're going to get 2 shots with 2 very small needles. One will be a medication called Toradol, which is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, completely different from a standard steroid or cortisone injection. This medication is safe and a great pain reliever. The other will be hyaluronic acid, which is a naturally occurring fluid found in all of our joints. What hyaluronic acid does is it helps recoat the inside surfaces to provide cushioning and lubrication. It helps slow down the osteoarthritis process to a point where patients may not need surgery. All of this combined with using our state-of-the-art Ultra G machine developed by NASA has produced profound results. What we do works. And the best part about this is that insurance covers most of our patients' treatments. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper-Fi.
SemperFiRoofing.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at ADAMM.com.
Annex Wealth Management, investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Forget commission sales pitches and financial products you don't need. Know the difference. Annex provides elite, comprehensive financial planning, customized to who you are and what you need. AnnexWealth.com.
If you're experiencing low energy, brain fog, or bloating, then your body might need a detox. Active Liver from New Nordic makes it easy to help your liver to detox your body all year long without any major changes to your diet or lifestyle.
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
It's time for the Political Junkie PowerPoint, sponsored by 2 men in a junk truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. 2meninajuncktruck.com. Joining Steve Scaffidi, here's Joe Sapecki and Bill McCoshen.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Jaslin. Let's get to it. Joel, your candidate lost, so we'll let you go first. Keep, ditch. What do you want to do first?
Keeping my faith in this country.
There you go. That's a good one.
I mean, I know people are feeling lots of ways, and I'll talk a little bit more about some of that at the end, but for every step forward in this country's history, there have been missteps, sidesteps, backward steps. We have only been a true multiracial democracy for, less than 100 years since the passage of the Civil Rights Act. Progress is not a straight line. I know people on my side are feeling all kinds of ways. I know that people around the world are looking at us and going, how the hell does this happen? But I'm keeping the faith, and I'm keeping keeping it together. And that's what you got to do. Right. Setbacks don't mean
keeping a faith.
Yeah.
I am keeping Elon Musk and X for maintaining an open line of communication for people throughout this process. And let me quote, believe it or not, CNN's Van Jones about all this. He said, "Here's how we got beat. Conservatives built a different media system, online, podcast, streaming platforms. They were spending their money there. We were laughing at them." There is little doubt that Elon Musk keeping Twitter open for people so that the news could flow was a factor in this race. I don't know, how determinative it was, but I think in America we want to have the First Amendment. We want to have freedom of speech. We want to have disagreements. We don't want the government to shut us down when we disagree with quote unquote the preferred thought pattern. So I'm keeping Elon Musk.
I'm going to keep the voter enthusiasm that I saw in my community. 98% of registered voters showed up in this election.
Phenomenal.
In Oak Creek?
Phenomenal.
In Oak Creek. That is insane.
That's insane.
Yeah. And boy, would I love to see that sort of turnout everywhere. And there are examples of that across the state, across the country. When people are fired up about politics, that's a good thing. We've had...
Totally agree.
We've had fun. We've had rage. We've had everything talking about this race since it all started, 2 years ago. But you know what? As you said, you have faith in the system. I have faith in the system. Donald Trump is Donald Trump. That's not going to change. The people around him may be different than last time, but the country has held it together through, as you said, all kinds of leaders. Let's see what we can do here. And I still think from the bottom of my soul and my heart that this was a reaction by normal folks out there and say, you know what? The way we're doing it is not working. We have to change something. Even though we've seen this act before, we're willing to give him one more crack at it to see if he can sort of disrupt a little bit more and make this work.
And I know you guys know this, but I just want to make really clear for our listeners. Those folks I have no issue with. I have no issue with people voting for this. My issue is with Donald Trump, not with his supporters. It never has been. That's why we can sit here. What I'm junking, however, is a degradation in our culture that tolerates those who lie, cheat, steal, and those who do. I think there's warning signs there, and I hope we are not going down this path, because 20 years ago, those on the right would have had a very different opinion of someone who is a 34 times convicted felon being in any position of public trust, much less president of the United States.
That's perfect. I'm going to pick up on something Joe said. I am junking condescension, whether it's Mark Cuban saying Donald Trump doesn't surround himself with bright, strong women, or it's Harris supporters calling us cultists for supporting him, or Nazis, or Joe Biden calling us garbage. That all is garbage, and we got to get beyond that. Let's stop calling each other names. Let's get to the table and try and solve problems that actually impact Americans.
I'm junking Twitter. I stopped posting and stopped commenting on Wednesday after the election, and I'm going to maintain that for the near future. It's liberating, actually, because I don't have to look at it and I don't have to spend any time responding to people or the threats that you get when you're a public figure. So I'm ditching Twitter, and I'm not looking back right now. It's actually refreshing.
Me too. TBDFL joined Threads to replace it.
I haven't even figured out what Threads is.
I don't either.
Like, I'm not a technology
I can't manage
guy.
all that.
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. All right, well, wrap it up with the grab bag. That was the Political Junkie PowerPoint, sponsored by 2 Men in a JunkTruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't. Grab bag next, right here on the Political Power Hour, 620 WTMJ.
The only place to get this.
He will hand up to Giannis. Look out below. Oh, hide the women and children.
With a little bit of this.
I don't understand how that is an issue.
Do you need me to call Torian Prince so he can explain how you rebound?
I mean, get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show with Justin Garcia and Brandon Snide. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Hey, this is WTMJ, Steve Scaffidi for Avent. Love talking about Avent. Told you all about the nights of tossing and turning and snoring and just disrupted sleep that I used to have. I don't have that anymore. I went to Avent years ago. 30-minute visit. They walked through all my problems, answered my questions, put me at ease. We did a really simple sleep study at home in my own bed. They determined my problem, sinuses and nasal passages. After a short procedure in office, back to breathing better than ever. This is 5 years now. Sleeping through the whole night, which is always worth the price of admission. If you struggle like I did, take the time to see how Avent can help you. To find out how breathing well and sleeping well can make your nights better, go to AventKnows.com. Schedule an appointment today, because Avent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is coming this weekend inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, cold tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only inside the Exposition Center at Wisconsin State Fair Park.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at ACCUNET.com.
Dreaming of a home renovation? J&J Contractors has been turning houses into dreams for over 40 years. From stunning kitchens and luxurious bathrooms to finished lower levels, they handle complete renovations that elevate your space. And don't forget about the outside. J&J Contractors specialize in roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
But you know that when the truth is told that you can get what you want or you can just get old, you're gonna
we're all going to get old. Truth matters, though. Joseph Pecky, Bill McCoshen, wrapping up another fine edition of Political Power
Truth matters
Hour.
less than it used to.
Soon to be award-winning edition, I think, as I get my submissions together for the WBA and Milwaukee Press Club Award. Let's do it this year. Let's win something. We all know. We already know, but it's an official process. All right, grab bag. We always wrap it up.
But I'm the arrogant one.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna give some advice to my side of the aisle and a little nugget for the listeners. Donald Trump is the first non-consecutive president in 132 years in this country. Grover Cleveland is the only other human being that ever accomplished that feat in the United States. That's pretty remarkable. The comeback, I think, is the greatest in history. It was durable. He got 74 million votes in 2020. He got 72 million this time. Democrats clearly did way worse than they did in 2020. But here's the point. Republicans should not view this as a red wave. People came out in droves to vote for Donald Trump, and they voted for his agenda. So for this to be durable going forward in 2026, every elected Republican in the Congress, both in the House and in the Senate, needs to enact his agenda. Standing in the way, trying to be Mr. Principal or Mrs. Principal is stupid, and it's going to cost you your seat. The voters spoke. They want his agenda enacted. It's time for Republicans to stand up and deliver results.
I'm not sure we know what his agenda is, though. Is it Project 2025? Is it the stream of consciousness thought? Right, that's the problem.
We're going to find out
That'll
together.
be for next week, though. My grab bag is to whatever your political affiliation, old, young, black, white, rich, poor. Let's all be better to one another.
Yeah.
Let's check on our people, not just when we know they're feeling down, but when we're feeling okay and we got time to reach out to our community, whatever that means to you, your found family outside of your own family. And I would just say I dedicate that approach to the memory of the late Jonathan Brostoff, whose services are ongoing this morning. I can think of no better way to honor his memory and all that he did for this community than to make sure we're taking care of one another.
Very passionate about public service, which everyone respects, and they should. Just a final thought as I always enjoy the Friday kind of wrap up to the week, and this is one of those busy weeks where big things happen. I always have faith in this country. It's the greatest country on the planet. We've gone through world wars, and we've come out on the right side. I think we're going to come out on the right side of this. But I'm going to hold Donald Trump to the expectations that I have for every president. Act like a president, and we'll see if that happens. I will hold Congress to what they're supposed to be doing, which is making the laws so that we're not doing executive actions over and over again, although I'm sure we'll see some of that. I want people to act like grown-ups. And to kind of piggyback on what you said, let's start acting like grown-ups. I mean, one of the reasons I got off Twitter is I'm tired of people just taking shots that have no basis in anything. Why would I sit there and take that? And Twitter's fine for some people. It's not for me. And I'll move on to something else. Gentlemen, you've got work to do today.
We got work to do.
Got some TV work. Life's looking up for Bill McCoshen and Joseph Pecky. Not that it wasn't before. We'll wrap the week, as we always do, Political Power Hour, 620 WTMJ. The news is next.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I at least like to think I'm an expert when it comes to football, but I know Excel are truly experts when it comes to the art of deck building. With the finest materials and products combined with their superior craftsmanship, they'll deliver exceptional quality and value on everything from backyard decks to pergolas and outdoor kitchens. If